Hi folks, it's Mayor Victoria Gearity coming to you on this beautiful Mother's Day Sunday afternoon. I will add to the many good wishes I'm sure you have been receiving. I know my inbox is flooded and my phone is filled with texts from great friends, and I also have been enjoying a lovely day of connecting with the mothers in my life in a socially distancing appropriate manner. I had the pleasure of starting my day with breakfast in bed. My husband, who is not someone who cooks very often in our household, did a delicious breakfast for me, and I got to finish up a book that I'd been reading with my son. It was a really nice leisurely start to my day before I went and sat in my parents' backyard with them for a little while. They live in Sleepy Hollow, and we had a nice socially distanced visit before getting on a Zoom with my mother-in-law and her mother and my sisters-in-law and my nieces and my nephew. It was a nice way to virtually connect with people that are important to us on this very special day. I guess I'll tell you about the most unusual card I've ever received. Was my 7th grade son created for me a fortnight Mother's Day card. It said Happy Mother's Day, but he had to shoot the walls away, and what was left was the words Happy Mother's Day in this virtual platform that he spends probably way too much time on. But it was fun that he devoted some of that time for the last week and a half to creating this Mother's Day wish for me. He was very proud of himself and very nervous that I was going to be unhappy that he'd created this card for me in Fortnite, which is perhaps not my favorite platform for my children to spend time on. The one thing that I'll mention as far as what's going on in the village this week, I don't have any updates on numbers of new cases, but is we talked at the end of the month about the Comp Plan Steering Committee. We had a virtual village hall the last Wednesday of April, and then this past week we talked a little bit more about the comprehensive plan in the context of moving forward even during this time of the coronavirus. And we decided that we can reevaluate as things move forward if we feel that we're not able to have the amount of public engagement that we'd like for this very important stage in our update to our comprehensive plan. But where we are right now for this next stage is subcommittees doing some thoughtful input on various sections of the comprehensive plan. And so our village manager put together a preliminary list of suggested folks who would serve on the committee. And sometimes it's not even people, it's sort of categories of people or organizations. So the committees are schools, economic development, parking and transportation, housing, community services, waterfront, infrastructure and municipal services, cultural and historic organizations, and environmental organizations. And we're going to be reaching out to the people and groups that we're asking to serve on these subcommittees. Very often those are folks that, like for example, on the schools committee, we ask the folks from the schools, from the district and the school principals, and Ossining Matters. That's a sort of obvious one. From the environmental, for example, we ask folks from our Village Environmental Advisory Council, Green Ossining, Riverkeeper, Teatown Lake Reservation, and Friends of the Old Croton Aqueduct, and a couple of individuals. And then some folks have just reached out and said they wanted to make sure that they were able to be included. So if there's something in particular, an area in particular where you'd like to make sure that you have a voice directly on one of these subcommittees, go ahead and send me an email at Gearity@villageofossining.org. We're going to start reaching out to folks this week, but there's still time if you want to be able to serve on one of these subcommittees. And if you just want to make sure that you have an opportunity to contribute to the comprehensive plan, have no fear. There are going to be lots of opportunities. And if you're somebody who can tune into a Facebook Live meeting or find us on YouTube, then you're certainly somebody that is going to be able to find ways to engage with the comp plan as we do outreach in a virtual way, which is going to be the platform that we're dependent on now in a way that we wouldn't obviously have been or we didn't anticipate being. We are excited to get to this next stage of preparing for our new comp plan and figuring out where we are today and how that might be different than when we were 11 years ago when the current comprehensive plan was passed. And so we are excited to get these subcommittees underway. And I'm excited that there's so many important and engaged people in our community who I hope are going to be willing to step into this role. And with that, I'll just say thank you for all of the Mother's Day wishes from so many of you. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Mother's Day is a beautiful day for so many of us, and it's also a difficult day for many who have lost a mother, have difficult relations with their mother. Any holiday is has good and bad to it, and I hope that there's some really wonderful things about today for you and for the people that you love most. Be well. See you tomorrow.